time twists, ancient secrets, and one of the most unsettling plot lines we've seen in Strange New Worlds so far. Episode 5, Through the Lens of Time, was an unexpected descent into horror, mystery, and morality. But is it a standout episode or a misstep? I've got a lot of thoughts and a batshit theory you will not see coming. If you're someone who loves when Star Trek gets weird, dark, and a bit existential, this one is for you. And I'll be unpacking the good, the bad, and a theory so mad it might actually make perfect sense. So set your coordinates, get comfy, and engage, because we're about to go somewhere strange. So first of all, we are going to red alert because this video contains spoilers for Through the Lens of Time. I'll be diving into what I thought worked brilliantly, what stumbled a bit, and then we'll go completely off the rails with one batshit crazy theory about where this season might be headed. But first, here's a question for you to consider as we go. What ancient Star Trek villain or concept would you love to see reimagined in this darker, horror-laced tone? Let me know your answer in the comments below, and first of all though, let's begin with a recap. This episode, Chapel and Corby's hunt for immortality leads the crew to an ancient alien temple. Inside, ruins that conceal something far worse than locked doors. Something lurking. Cue logic puzzles, horrifying imagery, jump scares, and an ancient evil that transcends dimension. Directed by Andy Armaganian, who gave us the disturbing Lifters Where Suffering Cannot Reach in Season 1, this one is not for the faint of heart. And honestly, I loved that. But we need to talk about that title, Through the Lens of Time. Yes, that's lens with an E. Now the correct spelling is lens without the second E. So what's going on? The plural is lenses, which might explain the mix-up, but I find it hard to believe that this is just a typo. On a production of this scale? No way. So I'm leaning into the idea that it's deliberate. Could the misspelling hint at multiple ancient prisons, more than one temple, more than one lens, scattered throughout the stars? If so, we might not have seen the last of this tech. And if it was an error, then it's a pretty egregious one. But knowing how Trek likes to embed deeper meaning, I'm going to treat it as a bit of a clue. But let's start with the good, what I absolutely loved about this episode. It's the fact that it goes dark and it does it with confidence. Strange New Worlds continues drawing inspiration from iconic horror. The first season's Gorn episode, All Those Who Wander, channeled Ridley Scott's Aliens. Shuttle's Kenfora this season was basically Night of the Living Dead, and now we've got a story that screams Event Horizon meets the Mummy. That's how I saw it anyway. The moment with that ensign's eyes, pure nightmare fuel. But beyond the horror, there's the puzzle solving. For me, there's something unmistakably Dungeons and Dragons here. Traps, riddles, dimensional shifting. If you're into RPGs like long-time viewers know that I am, you'll have loved that touch as well. And then there's Batel. Her Gorn DNA recognizing the Vezda lifeform. What the hell are the Gorn? Are they linked to this ancient evil somehow? That's a rabbit hole I'll gladly fall down. More on that in my batshit theory coming up though. But on to the bad. Only a few gripes this week. First, when the dimensional planes aligned, no one overlapped with the dead grave robbers or each other. Convenient, right? A quick line like, "Don't stand where we are," would have fixed it. Then there's Pelia's dark speech at the end. It ended with a gag line. I get it, audiences love tension breakers, particularly after dark moments, but sometimes you have to sit in that discomfort. And I think that moment deserved to linger. And finally, Scotty keeping the Vezda in the transporter buffer, not scattering its atoms. It seems reckless unless it's setting up something. But that brings me to this week's batshit theory. I've said before that Marie Batel might be Trek's version of a werewolf, or were-Gorn, if you will. That seems to be playing out. So here's what I think. The Vezda lifeform isn't gone. The glitch on the transporter monitor, the changing language, that's a bit of a clue there. I believe this entity is going to escape. Maybe not next week, maybe not until the finale, but it's coming. And when it does, I think Marie Batel and the Gorn within her is going to sacrifice herself to stop it. Just like in many great werewolf tales, the person cursed becomes the one who ends the threat. The final episode of the season, titled New Life and New Civilizations, is when I think we will see this played out. So what do you think? Was this just a setup for a Monster of the Week story, or are we seeing the seeds of something truly terrifying? Let me know your theories in the comments. If you enjoyed The Lens of Time, you're not alone. It might just be one of the boldest, darkest episodes that Strange New Worlds has dared to produce. And if you like this video, tap that like button. It really does help the channel. And drop your comments below. What was your favourite moment? What freaks you out the most? And do you think my theory has any merit? Or am I completely out of phase? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you don't miss my review of next week's episode, The Sailor Who Ate Its Tail. The title alone tells me we're shifting tones again, likely to something whimsical and perhaps philosophical. And with Valerie Weiss, director of Ad Astra Per Aspera, at the helm, I expect something uplifting and maybe even redemptive. Until then, stay curious, stay bold, and keep your hailing frequencies open. How do you turn a 3-dimensional printer into a 4-dimensional printer? Just give it time.